Social inequality. Income, wealth inequality, and the racial wealth gap. Domestic workers, women of color. Eric Olin Wright stated, inequalities among people are seen not mainly as a consequences of their individual attributes, intelligence, education, motivation, etc., but the way the system of production is organized around mechanism of exploitation. Gender inequality is a belief that the women are at a disadvantage in their family or even in society. Children are raised with the belief that the role of a woman should be to stay at home and take care of the family, and that is passed on from generation to generation. There is also a disadvantage for women in society because of traditional beliefs. Race and racial inequality. Race is not a genetic category, but it is seen as a social construct that has changed over many years in the United States. Racial differences are an important part of the social structure in today's society. Racial inequalities have different outcomes and circumstances for different people. Low wages, work, and class inequality. Many people of color are subject to low wages, no health insurance, as well as no Social Security, sick pay, or vacation pay. This is another source of inequality because it is based on the person's different class locations. Working class employees tend to have the lowest paying jobs and have little to no authority at their place of employment. Most middle to upper class people do not want these jobs. Domestic workers. Domestic workers are low-wage employees that is based on the economic status of their family. People view domestic work as inferior or as it is being a woman's job. Domestic work is not viewed as real employment, but something that a woman is to do. Care for children, cook, clean. It is basically working in the home and taking care of the home. But yet the middle class and upper class rely on domestic workers to maintain their households. Domestic workers have limited opportunities and life chances. Most workers are women, and in the past they used to be women of color. They live in poor conditions and have very heavy workloads. According to the article, at least 63% of workers work overtime, and their workload continues to increase over time. They have low pay, and most have no health benefits. Relationships. There are no real relationships between employers and employees. It is compared to back in the slavery days as a relationship between masters and servants. Masters are considered pure and superior, and most are white, while the servants are socially inferior, women and mostly of color. While this would be considered racism, most see it as a capitalist economy. Women of color. Most women are used only as part-time workers. Many spend performing household duties such as looking after children or cleaning homes. Their employers can be white, middle-class women who should be their equal. There are different class interests between low-wage workers and middle to upper-class workers. The relations are based on different class interests and also of race and ethnic conflicts. In order to close the gaps, there needs to be tax justice, better wages, family-oriented workplace, better health care, and democracy. Black inequality and social policy is sometimes used to control political and economic participation. The black community faces a lot more challenges in the community as a result of racial disparities.